haven't really been feeling like making much content. I haven't really been feeling inspirational. I figured maybe we can do a little story time while I get ready to leave the fucking house. I'm not trying to be a get ready with me girl. I'm really not. I'm literally just already ready. So I've been sick all week. So I was thinking a lot about my old life and how I used to be sick all the fucking time. You know, being sick in recovery as an ex-junkie is kind of wild because it like brings up all these memories of being dope sick, because literally this is what it feels like to be dope sick, right? You get like flu-like symptoms, you can't breathe, you're hot, you're cold, you're sweaty. Ugh, not fun. I was thinking about the time I smuggled some dope into jail with me because my fear of getting sick kept me sicker. My entire life revolved around not getting sick, and I did whatever I could to avoid getting sick, which meant smuggling dope into jail with me. I don't know what I was thinking. So it was right around the time when I got picked up for trafficking dope. That was in June 2010. Went to jail for that. My bail was 25 grand. I somehow convinced my dad to pay 25 grand to come bail me out, and so I was in jail for like a month, and then I got released on bail. Literally 3 months after that, I got rearrested on another distribution charge, and my bail was another 10 grand. And I knew, because I was out on bail, anytime you get picked up when you're out on bail, you're automatically going to jail. There's no recognizance, there's no personal recognizance, there's no like, oh, we'll give you another chance. Absolutely not. I had a lawyer, and the lawyer came and bailed me out of the police station, but I knew the next day when I went to court that I was gonna get held and I was gonna go to jail, right? So in my brain, I was like, if I could just get out of this police station and walk into the courthouse through the front door, because I mean, let's be honest, it looks so much better to walk in through the front door than it does to come up from the basement in cuffs and shackles when you have an arraignment. And I knew I was gonna get automatically straight to jail. My lawyer came, like I said, and bailed me out of the police station for 10 grand. Don't know how I pulled that off. Also too, I should add that in Massachusetts, any cash bail that you have, whoever pays that gets the money back. So like I knew that once the case was over, my dad was gonna get his money back, or the lawyer was gonna get his money back. They were gonna get their money back. Drives me to my place, and he says, Ange, don't leave your house. Don't fucking leave your house, because I had the arraignment the next morning, and I had been getting harassed by Southie PD, blah, 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 whole nother story. So I went in my house, and I didn't have a phone, so the first thing I did was leave my house to go use a payphone to call a friend of mine. Immediately thinking to myself, how can I smuggle dope into jail with me? Like, how can I make this work? I didn't know how long I was gonna be there, but literally in my brain, if I could smuggle dope into jail with me, then I would be fine. I don't know what I was thinking. I really don't know what I was thinking. Anything that I could do to avoid getting sick for as long as possible is what I was after. I was like, well, the only thing I can do is take what I have in with me. So the next morning I get up, I get put on my court clothes and try to make myself look as normal as possible. And I knew that I was gonna get locked up. And I was like, how can I do this so that the dope stays dry? Use your imagination. Wrapped it up real tight, tucked it, and proceeded to go into my arraignment. Now, mind you, the arraignment, all day long, I was held, of course, and then you had to wait for other people's cases to be heard. As I'm waiting for the transport, I have this dope all day tucked, right? 2 plastic bags, tied tight, all the things. By the time we're sitting in the jail and we're sitting in intake, that takes hours. And then by the time we're put on a floor in the infirmary, because I'm a dope fiend, so I'm automatically get put into the infirmary for a couple of days, and you do the strip search and you bend and cough and do all the things, and I was fucking terrified. Get up to the infirmary, and the only thing I want to do is take it out and get high. And there's like, it's like a 3-man room, and I was on the top bunk, and the only time that I could even access it was in the dark. So to be honest, like, it was such a waste of my time. I was out of the infirmary, 3 days, 2 days in the infirmary, and then you get shipped to, general population. It was already done. It was already finished by the time I got to Gen Pop. But I didn't want to throw out the bags. I didn't want to flush the bags. Heaven forbid they didn't go down all the way. I didn't want to put them in the garbage. Heaven forbid somebody saw them. I didn't want to release them from my possession, because I knew that as long as I had them, that they were safe. I went to put my jumpsuit back on after I got out of the shower and realized that I didn't have the fucking empty bags on me. and they were gone and they were missing, and I literally had a fucking heart attack. Now tell me how you're supposed to look for something that you lost, that nobody's supposed to know that you even had in the first place, and still like be low-key looking for something that you're not even supposed to have had in the first place. Trying to like discreetly look around without being asked, what are you looking for? The longest 20 minutes. Oh, I don't know how long it was. It literally felt like a fucking lifetime. I looked in the shower. I retracked my steps. I was in my cell. Looked in the bed. I looked, maybe it fell out in the toilet. I looked in the toilet. I looked in the garbage. I looked in the drain in the shower. Finally, I went to go pee in my cell, and I down my fucking orange pants. It was like a sandwich bag, right, with 3 empty gram bags inside, and it must have happened while I was like getting dressed in the shower, because I kept it in my bra the whole time, but it must have fell out while I was like getting dressed after the shower, because it fell out and it was rolled up in my jumpsuit pants, because my jumpsuit was like a million sizes too big. I literally was like, thank God. But then still, I didn't want to throw it out, because what if somebody saw it in the trash? What if it didn't flush all the way? I was terrified of like trying to get rid of the evidence. So I kept it on me, right? I was even chewing on them for like the longest time. There was literally nothing in there, but if anybody found a plastic bag, it was like all done and over with. My court date came about 3.5 weeks, maybe a month after my arraignment. My second court date came, and I still had the fucking bags, and I didn't know if I was going to be coming back to the jail, right? I said goodbye to the girls. I probably was going to be back to the jail, but I was going to do my best to talk to the fucking, convince the judge to let me out on something. Like, I'll do anything, right? I had lost like 20 pounds. I was fucking so gaunt, skinny, pale, gray. So I was still dope. I was like a mess. My lawyer was like, can you look at her? Like, jail is not fucking treatment. Like, she's like withering away. So the judge agreed to put me on the ankle bracelet, which I was like, thank God. The only thing I was thinking about was getting high. And of course, that's the first thing I did once I got released from the courthouse that day. But that is how the story goes. Then I smuggled dope into jail with me. The girls that I was locked up with, I ran into one of them not too long after that, or talked to them. And they said that literally, like, just a few days after I had left for my court date that day, they did a floor raid where they come up, they turn, they do all the things. They turn the water off so you can't flush anything. They go through all your shit. They strip search you, and they would have found the fucking bag. I would have definitely been doing my 5 years. And that's another thing too. I had 5 hanging over my head. I have a 5-year suspended sentence. That never even crossed my mind. Like, it never even crossed my mind that I was playing with my freedom like that. Like, I didn't care. And that's something I'm not sure that people without addiction, or haven't experienced addiction, or don't have loved ones with addiction, can understand. The only thing, I mean, we're not kidding when we say literally the only thing that we care about is the next high. The thought of getting locked up for 5 years, extended period of time, like, didn't even cross my mind. The fact that, or the thought of getting caught and automatically getting my suspended sentence, I didn't even care. Like, I did not have the ability to think about, well, what's going to happen if this? It was like, there is no what if. There was no negotiating with my desire to get high. There was no negotiating with that. I did whatever the fuck I had to do. When I tell you, I am so fucking grateful. Like, jail is just not fun. And jail dope sick is even worse. Jail dope sick sucks. I used to actually envy people who weren't dope fiends in there. I'd be like, oh, it must be so easy. And when I got arrested in Mexico and went to Cancun for a couple days, really that was the first thought that I had in my brain was like, oh, thank God I don't have a dope habit. Like, jail's so easy. It's gonna be so easy without a dope habit. That's fucking sick. I didn't care about my freedom. I didn't care about myself. Like, that's how little I fucking cared about myself. So anyways, I guess the moral of the story is, don't do drugs. Believe me when I say, no matter what you've been through, no matter what the circumstances, no matter what your story looks like or is like, or whatever you're coming from, changing your story is fucking possible, because I've done it, continue to do it, and there's no fucking excuses. There's literally no excuses. Okay, that's all. I love you. I don't know how people do this, because I don't know how you can talk and like do things at the same time.